What day or night will be the wildest party on your island?
It's one of those sentences, isn't it? Once you read it, you can't really unread it. It just sort of hangs in the air.
It does. And, if that was a line from some screenplay or a piece of fiction, you'd say it's a bit on the nose.
A bit too much.
A bit too villainous, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it's not fiction. That is a direct quote from an email sent by Elon Musk to Jeffrey Epstein.
And we should be clear, this isn't, hearsay or someone remembering something years later. This is the raw text.
Which is exactly why we're here. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is Monday morning, February 9th, 2026. And if you have been anywhere near the internet this weekend, you know it's basically melting down.
That's a good way to put it.
The U.S. Department of Justice just dropped what might be the largest single release of documents in modern history.
It's certainly up there. We're looking at about 3 million pages.
3 million. I mean, where do you even begin with something like that? The sheer volume of it feels like it's designed to just, paralyze you.
It's a data dump in the most literal sense of the word. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche announced it Friday, and the scale is just, it's hard to wrap your head around.
And it's not just documents, right?
No. There are 180,000 new images as well.
And Blanche was very, very clear about those images.
Yeah.
He said they wouldn't be censored, which, I have to admit, sent a bit of a chill down my spine.
Right. Warts and all was the general sentiment. And I think before we even dive into the Musk email, we have to talk about the why.
Why now?
Exactly. It's 2026. Jeffrey Epstein has been dead for, nearly 7 years now?
It really feels like a ghost coming back to haunt everyone.
It does, in a way. But legally speaking, this is all about a specific mandate from Congress. This isn't the DOJ just deciding to, stir the pot one morning.
So they were ordered to do this?
They're complying with a law that was passed to force transparency on this specific case. The argument being that the public interest, in this instance, outweighs the privacy of the individuals involved.
Given the nature of the crimes.
Given the extreme nature of the crimes. So this is the government basically saying, okay, here's everything, you figure it out.
And that's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, transparency is good, we want the truth. But when you just dump 3 million pages out there without any context, you create a frenzy.
Every journalist, every internet sleuth, every AI bot is just scraping through these files for names.
And the biggest name that's popped up so far this weekend, or at least the one causing the most friction, is Elon Musk.
Which brings us right back to that email.
It does.
And I want to be really careful here. Our goal today is not to speculate. We're not going to aggregate rumors from social media. We're looking at one specific document.
From 2012, that timestamp is crucial.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's 2012. This is pre-X takeover Musk. This is Model S era Musk.
He's a tech darling at this point.
Right. He's a famous billionaire, but he's not quite the global political figure he is today in 2026.
No.
And he gets an email from Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the narrative we've been sold for years is that Epstein was this sort of pest.
That's the standard defense we hear. He approached me, I politely declined.
Constantly trying to get close to powerful men, and they were all just swatting him away. But then you look at the actual text of this email.
It doesn't fit that narrative.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Epstein writes to Musk, and he doesn't say, hello, nice to meet you. He asks a logistical question. He asks, quote, how many people would be needed to prepare the helicopter for the island?
See, that's the detail that just stops you in your tracks. Prepare the helicopter.
Yeah.
That is not an introductory sentence. That implies a pre-existing conversation, a pre-existing understanding. It implies a trip is already on the table.
It's operational. It's like asking, should we take the sedan or the SUV?
Yeah.
It assumes we're going to dinner.
And the island. He doesn't even have to specify which island.
So Musk replies, and this is where that whole swatting him away story just hits a brick wall. He doesn't ignore it. He doesn't write back, sorry, who is this? He replies with 3 words, Tallulah and me.
Short, simple, and incredibly specific.
Tallulah and me. Now, for anyone who might have lost track of the timeline, Tallulah is Tallulah Riley. She's a British actress and writer.
And in 2012, she and Musk are together. They were married, divorced, remarried. It's complicated, but they're a couple at this point.
And bringing his wife or partner into the conversation is... oh, wow, it's a fascinating wrinkle, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, what's your read on that?
Well, that's what I can't figure out. On one hand, does bringing your wife make it seem less suspicious?
Sort of normalizes it.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's just a couples trip. We're just going to the beach.
Yeah.
You don't usually bring your spouse along to, a criminal enterprise.
That is one interpretation. It frames it as a social visit. But then on the flip side, it completely shatters the idea that this was some strictly professional, arm's-length business meeting.
Right.
You don't bring your wife to a due diligence meeting on a private island with a guy you barely know. It implies a comfort level.
It implies you're introducing your family into this man's world.
Precisely. It signals that Epstein wasn't just some potential investor. He was someone Musk felt comfortable socializing with.
But then we get the follow-up. And honestly, I think this is the sentence that's going to be remembered from all of this.
It's the one that's going to be in the headlines for weeks.
Musk follows up Tallulah and me with the question, what day-night will be the wildest party on your island?
It's the adjective, that one word, wildest.
He didn't ask when is the networking dinner?
Or when is the gala? No.
He asked for the wildest party.
And you have to consider the context. This is Jeffrey Epstein's private island. By 2012, the whispers were already out there. There were rumors about what happened on that island.
So when you ask the owner of that specific island for the wildest party, you're not asking about a loud DJ.
You're signaling something. You're signaling that you know the brand, so to speak.
And that you're open to it.
That you're open to the brand. Yes. It implies a pursuit of a certain kind of hedonism. It sounds like someone looking for an experience you can't get at a normal resort.
It honestly sounds like a text you'd send to a frat brother, not a financier you're supposedly keeping at arm's length.
And that casual, familiar tone is what is so damaging here. It suggests they had a shorthand. That Musk knew, or at least thought he knew, what a wild party at Epstein's place meant.
And he wanted in.
And he wanted in.
So we have the email, we have the Tallulah and me, we have wildest party. Now, we have to square this with the defense.
Right. Because for years, Elon Musk has been, well, he's been categorically clear.
He's said on the record multiple times that Epstein tried to approach him. He has said he never visited the island. He has called any suggestion to the contrary categorically false.
And this is where this DOJ document dump puts everyone in a really strange legal gray area.
Explain that. Because to my ears, asking for a helicopter ride to the island sounds a lot like you're planning to go to the island.
In a common sense way, yes, absolutely. But in a court of law, it's different.
Okay.
The source material we have today, these specific documents, they do not contain a flight log confirming that helicopter actually took off with Musk on it.
So we have the care. We have the reservation, but not the boarding pass.
That's a perfect way to put it. We have the intent. We have the discussion. We have the explicit desire to go to the wildest party. But the documents, at least the ones we've seen so far in this 3 million-page haystack, do not definitively prove he ever set foot on Little St. James.
Wow. That feels like a massive technicality.
It is a technicality, but it could be the difference between a PR nightmare and, a criminal investigation.
Right.
The source is very explicit. It notes there is nothing in these documents that accuses Musk of participating in any crimes. No accusations of sexual misconduct, no trafficking, nothing like that. Just an email.
So it's a reputational disaster, but not necessarily a legal one.
For now, yes. The source actually calls it mere public controversy.
Mere public controversy.
God, you have to love lawyers speak. Oh. They have a way with words. But you have to consider the stakes here. If this was just Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, maybe he weathers this. Maybe it's just another chaotic news cycle.
But it's not just CEO Musk anymore.
No, it's 2026.
It's February 2026.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk is currently serving in Donald Trump's government.
Which changes the entire calculus. We are not talking about a private citizen. We are talking about a high-ranking government official.
An official who would have gone through, presumably, a significant vetting process. Full security clearances.
And is responsible for public policy. So when you have a government official who has said, I had nothing to do with this guy, and then the DOJ itself releases an email where he's asking that same guy for the wildest party.
Yeah.
What does that do to public trust?
It erodes it instantly. It's the hypocrisy gap.
Exactly.
It's not even about what he did or didn't do on the island at that point. It's about the fact that the public story he approached me is directly contradicted by the private evidence, which is, get the helicopter ready.
It makes you wonder what else is being, glossed over. If categorically false can actually mean we emailed about parties, but I might not have technically gone, then words start to lose their meaning.
And this isn't the first time his name has come up in these files, right?
No. The source mentions it's a pattern. But previously, it was easier to dismiss. It was, ambiguous initials on a flight log or a meeting that could be explained away as business.
But wildest party is.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to explain away as business.
You can't really spin that as a meeting about solar panel technology. It strips away all of that strictly business defense armor.
I just want to go back to the randomness of all this. You think about it. If this one email had been deleted, if one server had been wiped back in the day,
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
it's terrifying, right? The digital breadcrumbs we all leave. In 2012, Musk probably typed that on a BlackBerry or an early iPhone, hit send, and didn't think twice.
Just a casual thought, hey, when's the party?
And 14 years later, it's the lead story on every news network in the world.
Because the context shifted so dramatically. In 2012, Epstein was a known quantity, sure, but he was still operating in high society. In 2026, he is the radioactive symbol of elite corruption and abuse. That email traveled through time and landed in a completely different moral universe.
So we have a government official caught in a very clear contradiction. We have a massive trove of documents that's only, 72 hours old at this point?
We are in the very early innings of this release. That's the key thing to remember. We found this Musk email because his name is a huge searchable term.
Of course.
But there are 3 million pages. There are going to be hundreds of other names, some famous, some you've never heard of. This email is the headline today, but by next week, who knows?
It feels like the dam is finally broken.
It has, and the DOJ knows it.
Yeah.
Blanche's comments about not censoring the images, that was a signal. They want the full scope of this reality to be public.
Which is a terrifying thought for anyone who ever sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein thinking it would stay private.
Or anyone who thought their intent didn't matter as long as they didn't get caught in the action.
That distinction you made earlier between intent and action, I can't stop thinking about it.
It's the central tension of this whole story right now.
Because legally, you're right. If he didn't go, he didn't go. No harm, no foul, technically. But morally,
Morally, it's about alignment. If you align yourself with a known predator, if you actively seek out the wildest party hosted by that predator, does it matter if the helicopter had mechanical issues and you ended up staying home?
your compass was still pointing north.
Your compass was still pointing directly at that island. And for a man sitting in the executive branch of the U.S. government, the direction his moral compass was pointing in 2012 is a huge matter of public interest in 2026.
It is going to be a very, very long week.
We're going to be reading these documents for the rest of the year.
And we'll be right here covering it.
Oh,
But before we go, I want to leave you with that thought, the compass thought. We live in an age of 3 million declassified pages. We're drowning in digital evidence. But sometimes, the most damning piece of evidence isn't a fingerprint at the scene.
sometimes it's just a sentence in an email.
What day is the wildest party? So does the intent to attend that party matter as much as actually attending? Or does the email itself just completely shatter the defense of, he just tried to approach me? Does it prove that the door wasn't just knocked on, but that it was open wide from the inside?
That's the question he's going to have to answer now.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Stay curious.